I'm Robbie Williams. I'm one of the biggest pop stars in the world. This is my story, but I'm not going to tell it in an ordinary way because I don't see myself how others see me.
Thank you for this movie. I've seen it at TIFF this year in Canada. It was amazing. It's honestly the first music biopic I've seen that's so brutally honest. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Your life has had a lot of plot twists, I think, a lot of things happening. When you were going through the script, or maybe the first versions of it, did you ever think like we have to tone this down or people will think it's completely made up?
Tone this up. There is something about my ism, and I'm on the spectrum somewhere, and I don't pick up the cues where there are things that you're not supposed to say about yourself. I am quite filterless. And I only know this is unusual because people point out in interviews that this is unusual. But yeah, I pretty much enjoy going, yeah, here's all of my things. It's kind of how I socialize as well. Tell me about your trauma. And I'm averse to small talk. I can only do big talk. And this film is the representation of big talk, I suppose.
So there's nothing that you left out, or?
No, there was stuff that couldn't be fit in. There are a lot of stories that didn't make it for no other reason than, nobody needs a 5-hour film about Robbie Williams.
I know what you're thinking. What's with the monkey? I'm Robbie Williams. I'm one of the biggest pop stars in the world. But I've always seen myself a little less evolved.
I can imagine that it's very healing making this and talking about it as well. How do you balance the line between personal catharsis and what resonates with the audience? Because it still has to be a big movie.
Yeah. I think if you break it down to commercialism, the money-making aspect of this film is its authenticity. And in its authenticity, the overexposure of all of my demons is authentic and hopefully will be interesting because it's not something that you see really in the biopic genre. So, yes, there is an element of catharsism, but the catharsism is yet to come. It's a very strange life doing interviews as therapy. This is cathartic. I find out what I'm thinking and I find out what is wrong with me.
What is wrong with you?
Well, I have a very impulsive nature that is prone to causing chaos for myself. I have a chimp brain that can be overactive and can drive the car. And when the chimp brain drives the car, it wants to drive it off a cliff. So I have to guard against who's in control. And there are many people, many different Robbies. At the moment, I am choosing the path of least resistance. And I have 5 souls that I need to behave for, and that's 4 children and 1 wife. So there are many things that I am learning about myself on a daily basis.
Scream, whoa!
What I was wondering as well, you've made this movie, of course, you've made the Netflix documentary, there's been the Boy Bands Forever documentary as well. There's been a lot.
There's a lot in it.
Yeah, in 1 or 2 years. But
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself so far? Like the biggest learnings, maybe?
Well, it's very interesting what the universe presents itself as and to me. And it's not lost on me because I like the woo-woo. I like strange things. I like phenomena that may or may not exist out there where angels might be pulling the strings or, you can manifest things. The universe just recently went, hey, do you want to do a documentary? Yes. Hey, do you want to do a biopic? Yes. And they all have happened to come out all at the same time. But it isn't lost on me that this happens to be coming out in such a consolidated time. And I find it interesting that that is the case. I also love the fact, being a professional attention seeker, which I am, because without attention, I don't exist. And fortunately or unfortunately, attention is what I need for my job. It's very interesting that it's all come out at the same time. What have I learned about myself? I've learned that I'm a different person now.
Okay.
I have learned that there was a before and now there is an after. And the after is a place where I am deriving joy, and I'm happy and I feel safe. So I think that's the biggest thing that I'm learning. There was a before and now I live in the after.
For the next 2 hours, your ass is mine!
To be honest, I've always been a little less evolved.
I don't wanna rock!
So let's take it from the top, shall we?
The Netflix documentary starts with I'm trying to sort out the wreckage of my past. Well, you've chosen to do it quite publicly, maybe. Why is that?
Because I'm a professional attention seeker. And, you know, the wreckage of the past also happens to have existed in a very public manner. So why not sort it out in a public manner too? I am compelled to explain myself. I'm compelled to understand myself, and I'm compelled to be understood. I want to say in my narrative, you know, if there's going to be a narrative about who and what Robbie Williams is out there in clickbait world or tabloid selling world, or, you know, unfair comments underneath these tabloid articles or whatever, I want to say in my narrative. I want to be part of that narrative, and I think that's for me, it's a natural way of being.
I believe at TIFF you've said that the next thing that's coming is a reality show.
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
That's like...
If there is a reality show, something's gone wrong.
Yeah?
The reality show is the last throw of the dice.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the final thing we will see about you.
Yeah.
I have a totally different question, but there's another important match tonight of your favorite club, Port Vale.
Yes.
Would you rather have them win the Premier League or have this movie win all the Oscars?
Okay. So, I would like this movie, obviously, to be a massive, massive success. Yes. Hopefully, maybe, we could do that without winning Oscars. I would also love to win Oscars. Of course I would. That would be wonderful. I would love Port Vale to win the Premier League. That would be my greatest wish at Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. I think we're more than likely to win Oscars than Port Vale are to win the Premier League, though.
Well, thank you so much for this.